you're thinking of buying hair extensions, there are a few things most people don't realize, especially if you're a beginner, this is your first time buying hair extension, you're still new to the process. Missing out on these things will cost you time, money, and frustration. Hi, I'm Wendy, and I've been in the hair industry now for about 8 years. So I help women just pick out hair extensions that make them feel amazing, and also share tips on how to make your hair extensions last longer. Because we're spending so much money on these extensions, you need to be getting every worth out of every buck that you spend. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 things that you need to take note before buying your hair extension, especially if you're a beginner. By the end of this video, you'll feel more confident choosing the hair that you want, the volume that you want, and protecting your investment. So the first I'm going to go into is length and hair textures. Most times, different lengths vary depending on the hair texture. And a mistake that a lot of people make is that sometimes you may see a length online, or you see a length for one particular hair texture, and you compare it with the same length from another hair texture. And when you get the bundles, when the bundles come to you in the mail, sometimes you may be disappointed that the length is not exactly how you want it. So case in point, I have a body wave bundle here, and I have a deep wave. This is actually a deep wave clipping right here. So these two textures, this is the deep wave and this is the body wave, they are the same length. It's a 20-inch bundle, right? These are the same length, but because of how the texture is, the body wave normally has more volume, and you can see it stretches out more because of the texture of the hair. And then the deep wave is usually has shrinkage, especially like if you have 4C hair or you have that kind of natural pattern. You should be used to this by now, because the length of a curly hair is very different from the length of a wavy and a straight hair. So this is the same bundle, but when you look at it, see, the body wave is looking longer than the deep wave. So I'm going to come a little bit closer here, and just to show you the two lengths, right? You see that this is the deep wave and this is the body wave. So what we're seeing here is that the body wave length, even though they're the same, looks longer than the deep wave. So that is something to have in mind when you're buying your bundles, when you're trying to shop for bundles. Just know that if you're going for curly bundles, kinky curl, water wave, deep wave, any kind of bundle that has curly texture, it usually looks shorter than if you're going for a straight, or if you're going for body wave, sometimes loose wave. Here's the reason why you need to take note of that. So if you want to get a bust down like deep wave to your waist level, or like your bra strap, you should think about the length that you're going to get that would achieve that, and not just looking at like the bundle itself, but like having in mind that when you're getting, if you want to do a deep wave or a curly bundle that is longer, you have to go for a way longer length, and the body wave and all the straight bundles will have the illusion of looking longer than this, right? So the next point that I want to touch on, if you're new to buying hair extensions, or if you just want to understand more about buying hair extensions, is understanding the different hair grades. Hair are in grades. So when you're buying human hair, there are certain grades that are higher quality and other grades that are low quality. That's the reason why you can try to buy loose wave or whatever kind of curl you want to buy from different vendors, and they have different prices. And that's because they source different kinds of hair. So you may want to buy a bundle from one company, you find something cheap online, they're like, it's $50 a bundle. And you see another person selling the same bundle, it looks alike, but it's like double that price. That's because the grade is different. So the 3 main kinds of grades that you need to care about is the Remy hair, the virgin hair, and raw hair. Those are 3. Usually human hair comes in this 3 grades, right? So Remy hair, the thing about Remy hair is that Remy hair is all the cuticles are intact. So that means it's more shiny, is more like silky. It usually like has the shine about it. So what why a lot some people like Remy hair is that it's less likely to tangle, it's less likely to get matted, but not all Remy hair are virgin hair, right? So you may get a Remy hair, it looks good the first few times you wear it or the first two times you wear it, and afterwards it's like, you can't do a lot of things to it because it's Remy hair, it's human hair, but it's not the same quality as other higher, grades of hair. So next, after Remy hair, let's talk about virgin hair. So if a vendor tells you that this is virgin hair, so what usually means is that it's not being, bleached, it's not being chemically processed, and virgin hair is very good quality. A lot of times, virgin hair will last you for about 1 to 3 years. That's if you maintain it properly. And there's a lot of discourse around virgin hair and if virgin hair lasts. So people carry their hair for up to 5 years. But again, that's like how you maintain your hair because it's not about spending money on your hair. It's about how you maintain your hair. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos following this about how to properly maintain your hair. Then after virgin hair, you have raw hair. So raw hair is the most luxurious, finest kind of hair. So what this means, of course, it's not being processed, not being chemically treated, and it's usually taken from one donor. So you see straight bundles, straight strands from tip to ends. It's usually taken from one donor and is usually the highest quality of hair. And raw hair is typically the most expensive because it's going to last you for a very long time. So a main difference between virgin hair and raw hair is a lot of times if you want to bleach your hair, right? Apart from the fact that they would last, they both last long, but the raw hair would last longer, sometimes 5 years or more. I've had hair that I've worn for over 5 years. I wash it and it keeps looking good. And I'm like, should I throw this hair away? I've been using this hair since like 2016 or 2015, but the hair still looks very good. And that's the thing about raw hair. While virgin hair, a lot of times after like some wears, you see that the hair is no longer the way you bought it. When you fix it, when you install it, it doesn't look as cute as when you just bought it, right? So the main thing with both hair is that another thing that people take note when the difference is that when you're trying to bleach your hair, you can bleach virgin hair, but a lot of times you can bleach virgin hair up to 613, which is like blonde, like that really high blonde color, the 613. Usually, when you're trying to bleach your virgin hair to go to like a honey blonde or like a brown, but you find it hard to get that 613, that's how you know that it's not virgin hair. It's not raw hair, sorry. If you can't bleach it to 613, it's not raw hair. But raw hair, so this hair right here is sourced from my company, Wendy Locks. So this is actually raw body wave hair. And this hair, you find out that when you try to bleach it to 613, it bleaches all the way to 613 because it's raw hair, right? It's not been processed, it's not been bleached, it's not been tampered with, and it's from one donor. So that's the difference between the different grades of hair. So that's something you need to know before making your next purchase. So the number three thing that you need to take note when you're buying your hair extension is you need to check for the volume and the weight of the bundle, right? So typically, most bundles, like a lot of people sell bundles in grams. You can either have a 50-gram bundle or a 100-gram bundle. So this bundle right here, this is an example of a 100-gram bundle. So this is a full 100-gram bundle. But if you notice that you're trying to buy hair and sometimes the bundles look thin, most times it might be 50 grams. So 50 grams is half of this, right? And you see that in order to install your hair, you need more bundles than, just getting a few bundles to install your hair. So that's something to take note of. Check to see the description. Is it 50 grams? Is it 100 grams? To know exactly what you're getting and so that you're spending your money wisely. And that's going to move me into my next thing. How many bundles do you actually need for a full install? So right now, it depends on what you're trying to do. Right now, on my hair, I have clip-ins, right? I have clip-ins, and the clip-ins I have on that only have 200 grams of clip-ins, which means 2 sets of this on my hair. And the reason I have 200 grams is one, because I wanted it to look as natural as possible. I don't want my hair to look bulky, and I wanted to mimic. And that's just the thing about clipping. You want it to look like, is natural, and I didn't want it to look bulky or too full. So I used just 200 grams of clippings. And so also with bundles, if you want to get bundles, how many bundles do you need, right? If you don't want your hair to be super full, most people, the industry practice is to use 3 bundles. So 3 bundles of this is the typical practice. Most people would use 3 bundles for their install, and that is also perfect. Like if you want to use 3 bundles, that gives you like a full head of hair. That gives like a full head of hair. But if you want something really light, you want it airy, you don't want to be too like obvious that you have extensions on, 2 bundles is great as well. And another thing to take note of is the length. If you're going for longer lengths are usually not as full as the shorter length. So if you're going for length that is like down your bra strap, almost to your waistline, most times people use 4 or 5 bundles because they need the hair to look super full, right? Or sometimes people use 3 or 4 bundles. But if you're going for shorter lengths, maybe you're going for 10 inches, 12 inches, 14 inches, you can get away with 2 bundles. So it just depends on you, on what you, and I'm talking about if the bundle is 100 grams each, right? So 200 grams, 2 bundles, 3 bundles, 300 grams. But if it's in 50 grams, girl, that's going to be like, I don't know, 6 bundles. You let me know if you want to deal with that. But that's just how you need to, think about it before you invest in your bundles. And the good thing about bundles is that your bundles last you for a long time. So, and I'm talking about bundle, I'm also talking about clipping because it's the same kind of hair extensions, but this is just, this is done in a track and the clippings is done in the clips. And the reason why I love clippings too, let me just like plug in my clippings there. Right now, the clippings on my website are sold out, but I'm going to be restocking very soon. But the reason why I love clip-ins is just the fact that I can clip it on, clip it out, and I don't need 3 bundles to get a full head. I can use 2 bundles and I'm good to go. And also, I love to wash my hair. So when I install extensions, sometimes I like to let it go for like a month, carry for a while, just because it's expensive to install hair now, right? So I like to carry for a while. But with clippings, I would take maybe after a week or 2 weeks, and I want to wash my hair. All I do is clip the extension out of my hair, wash the extension. Sometimes I go ahead and wash my braids. Like I don't take my braids out. I just wash my braids, wash my scalp, let it dry, let it fully dry, and then wash the extensions itself and clip it back on again. And then it looks like I just had a fresh install. Like it just looks good. So that's like the thing. But with bundles, right, it's sewed in. So typically, some people wash their bundle wise on their hair, but that doesn't just work for me. I like to touch my scalp when I'm washing my hair. So, right. So if I want to wash it, I'm taking it out. So that's up to you. The fifth and final thing I want to talk about for you to consider when you're choosing, you're trying to get hair extension is think about your lifestyle. Like what works for your lifestyle. Anything you're trying to get, wigs, weaves, clippings, what is going to work for your lifestyle? There was a time in my life where I was wearing wigs all the time. And that's because I was a new mom. I had so much going for me. I didn't have time to like install my hair, braid my hair. All I want to do is to just wake up in the morning, put my wig on, and I'm ready to go. And during those times, I would use lots of the wigs and bundles. Even when I was the deep wave. Why? Because the deep wave, you don't need to do a lot with it. You don't need to curl it. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is to just put it on and you're ready to go because it's already curled. You just spray your water on it, add your mousse, and it's good to go, right? But it's very restrictive. You can't curl it the way you want. There are some hairstyles you can't do with it, but it depends on what stage in life for you. If you want something easy, low maintenance, go for deep wave, not too long, maybe get to a shoulder length. That's going to work for that stage of where you are, right? But if your lifestyle is like very active as well, think about it. Do you want to be wearing wigs all the time if your lifestyle is very active? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like if you're a very active person, you work out a lot, you run and do things like that. Sometimes wigs can be very discomforting. At that point, if you're someone like that, maybe you clip it. Maybe something you can, or a sewing, you can just put in a bun, is ready to go. You don't have to like go wear it and think about it hurting your scalp and things like that. So that's also another lifestyle choice you have to make, and think about what's going to work for you. Is it long? Is it short? What's your preference? What stage of life are you in? And the good thing about it is, why I love extensions, you can always switch it up. If after a while you're like, okay, I'm bored with this look, let me try something new, let me try something different. And if you're someone that's more adventurous, you want something different, then go ahead and get your buzz down extension or whatever kind of extension. Maybe you want to curl it, you want to, do bangs, you want to bleach it out, you want to slay on the, you want to do the slay girl slay things, you want to be look like a soft girl, and you're in that era where you have time to invest in that. Go ahead and do that. And also, like, I know right now a lot of people are doing their hair themselves, which is why I started doing tutorials. And it's not like I'm a stylist. I'm not a stylist, but I'm just somebody that because of how busy I am, sometimes I just like throwing hair on me on a fly, right? So if you're someone that likes to do hair yourself, also think about what kind of hair can I do? The hair that I'm trying to buy, maybe you want to buy a frontal wig or a frontal. Can you install a frontal if you're someone that does a frontal yourself? You're someone that does the hair yourself. Can you install a frontal yourself? You need to ask yourself those questions. So those are just a few things that you need to keep in mind when you're buying your hair extension. I hope that you've been able to get one or two things from this video. And if you have any questions, definitely leave it in the comment below. Let me know what's your vibe, what kind of hair do you like, and I would love to chat with you all in the comments. And don't forget to check out Wendy Locks, my hair company. I'm going to leave all the links below, my Instagram, my Facebook, and all of those good stuff. I hope to connect with you guys soon. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.